Hi, I'm Barbara Borsack, and I'm running for mayor of East Hampton Village, and I'm sitting here with Ray Harden, who's running for trustee on my party, the Elms Party. Ray is no stranger to a lot of you, but some of you may not know him, so I'm going to ask him, first of all, to tell us a little bit about yourself.
I grew up, I moved here when I was 2 to East Hampton and have lived here ever since. I remember riding my bike to school and to being an altar boy at Most Holy Trinity Church. Went on to Mercy High School in Riverhead. Worked up at Main Beach for many summers with Roni. So
At the Chowder Bowl.
At the Chowder Bowl. So a lot of memories there. I then went into construction, so to speak. Worked for Riverhead Building Supply for 16 years, where I did everything: yard man, driver, counter, outside sales, and then became the manager. So I worked my way up through the ranks, became manager. I left Riverhead and then went to work for Ben Krupinski Building. And just recently, with Ben and Bonnie and their grandson's untimely passing, took over the business with my partner, Stratton Scallender, and we've been running the business for the last 2 years.
Great. Okay, and tell us about your experience with village government. What have you been doing with village government?
Well, I was asked to become part of the zoning board, which I was an alternate member, and then quickly moved up to vice chair of it, and it was intriguing. Something different every time. Some of the cases went on, I think, a little long, but all in all, I think it's a very good thing for the village. You can keep control of what's happening. Everyone was trying to maximize their house on a small piece of property. It's not East Hampton. It's not East Hampton. I'm also on the licensing board for the town. I've been on that for 6 years now.
And recently, you were appointed to the
Right,
village board.
recently I was appointed trustee to fill in the remainder of the spot, which has been it's been a great experience, huge learning experience. I get so much from you and Rick that it's really, really helped.
Well, there's a big learning curve, that's for sure.
For sure, absolutely, absolutely. It's not as easy as you really think it is.
No, there's something to be said for institutional knowledge. It does help to know things that have gone before. So it's I know for me, Albert Edwards and Ed Sherrill had both been on the board for 20-some years when I joined the village board, and it was very helpful to have them to fill me in on things and why things are done the way they are, and how this was changed because we did it this way and then it didn't work and now we do it this way, and or why things happened the way they did. That's very helpful to have people
Right.
who know what the history of
The experience that you and Rick have is amazing. I try and go down a couple times a week, and I always go in and see Rick, and he's always giving me some type of tidbit, that really helps out.
Yeah.
With the day-to-day operations of the village.
No, I totally get
great.
that.
It's great.
I totally understand that because I was there, so I get it. So tell me what you think are the big challenges now that we're facing on the village board.
Well, I think the septic system, is a huge thing for the village to go forward. It's going to help with the water quality, town pond, hook pond. It's going to help that immensely. So I think that it's something that needs to be done, but it needs to be done correctly.
Right.
It can't be something that's just rushed into. You have to have all your I's dotted and your T's crossed.
Right.
Before you really move forward.
And that's only one piece of what we've been doing over the last 5 years on water quality issues. We've been putting filters in the drains to get the nitrogen. It filters the nitrogen out of the road runoff and the storm runoff. All the storm drains have them now. We planted the, the rain garden.
Which looks fantastic.
Which looks great, right?
It really does look good.
It's just taken a few years, but now it's really beautiful, and they're going to be working on another one right close to us here, across the street. And I think we're going to be doing one up in Georgica, for Georgica Pond, too. So we have been working, and in addition to that, we've been working all these years trying to get all the permits in place to dredge Town Pond, which is a huge job. I mean, just working your way through the state for permitting takes forever. People don't realize how long these things take. putting out the bids to get someone who's going to take the dredge. We had to do that twice, and each time it takes a certain number of months because, you know, they're complicated. They're complicated things, and there are certain things we have to do as a municipality that people don't always understand.
Right. And with the bids, sometimes it's not always an easy thing. You know,
Exactly.
Somebody may not have the proper paperwork, or there's different things that
Right.
make it take a little while to have it pass through.
Right.
Another thing too, being on the ZBA with the phragmites
Right.
in the pump. I think that's a great thing that people are coming to get those cut out.
Right.
It makes total sense.
They're so invasive, and they've really ruined.
They've taken over.
Yes, they've taken over our ponds. A number of years ago, we did a process in Hook Pond where we had that big harvester come in and try to get rid of the phragmites. They come back, but it's an ongoing process. So, any other challenges you see going forward?
I certainly think parking is an issue, which I know you guys are already on. The new system is coming, and I think that's going to be a huge help, especially if you can regulate the times.
Right.
Maybe September, October, the times are, 3 hours, 4 hours, whatever it
Right.
might be, just to help, the store owners out.
Right.
People might stay longer.
Right.
So I think that's a big issue, and traffic. We're both on the traffic task force that we just started up, and I think we have some really good people on that task force that should come up with some great things to hopefully ease the traffic in the village and the outlying areas.
Traffic is a huge issue.
Huge.
Huge issue.
And every year we say, this is the worst.
The worst year ever. I know. It's true. Every year is the worst year ever.
Yeah, so we need to do something.
Yeah, definitely do. So why did you decide to run? What was the...
Well, I was asked several times by Jerry to run on his ticket.
Jerry Larson.
Jerry Larson. And I'm not a person to make a quick decision. I like to think about it, in my everyday life. I like to think about things and make sure that, I understand what I'm getting into, or what I'm saying yes or no to. So he asked me several times to run with him, and then I really started following his platform. And I was like, this isn't what I want for East Hampton Village, And then you and Rick approached me, and it was the same thing. I said to you guys, I need some time to think about it, And then I looked at your platform, and I was like, this is what East Hampton Village needs to be. These guys are the right ones for the position.
And we were very excited. I have to tell you, I don't know if we've ever told you this or not, but when Rick and I started to talk about running, who would we like to run with us, we talked about a couple names, and yours was the one we both agreed. That's the person we want to go to first. You were the first person we asked.
I appreciate
because I've watched you all these years on the zoning board. I appreciated the fact that when you spoke with something good to say. You didn't just speak to speak. You
Right.
spoke if you had something important to say. So I always paid attention. If I saw Ray was going to speak, I always really listened because I knew Ray was going to say something important. And I just thought you were the most thoughtful person on that board. You really took everything in and gave it, as you said, you like to really take your time.
Really think about it.
And think about that, and I could tell that it was clear. And of course, Rick knew you from the fire department because you've been a volunteer fireman
I'm on my 21st year.
for 21st year, and an ex-chief.
Ex-chief. I was the ex-president of the East Hampton Town Chiefs Association. I'm presently the president of the Benevolent Association. Sergeant of Arms. What
Yes.
else?
So Rick knew you through the fire department because Rick is also a longtime fire department volunteer. So he knew that you were the right person. I knew that you were the right person from what I'd seen in terms of your work on the zoning board. So we agreed, and we were very excited when Ray agreed to join our ticket. So hopefully the three of us will be able to work together in the next 4 years, and we'll see where we go from there. Thank you so much. We're looking forward to it as well. Thank you, Ray.
Thank you.